So right now I'm working on a separate little project been working on down here. Started this one a long time ago before YouTube as well, and I was gluing scrap wood into panels. It's 5 panels. I need 2 more. This is going to be one, and I think this is going to be one. Maybe that's going to be one. I don't remember. Can't remember. Anyway. I'm going to get these glued up and in clamps so they're ready to go. I plane them down flat once I get them glued up, and then I'm going to glue them into a big cube, or almost like a post, and then I cut off sections of it about, I don't know, I think it's 3/8 thick, sand them down flat and make them into coffee coasters. So let's see here. I need this one to be, that one's wide enough. This one's, yeah, this one's spare. So I need to glue up these 4 together. Do I need to make you a little taller? I need to make you a little taller, don't I? So I need to glue these 4 together, and then those 4 together. And let me get my clamps. All right, so let me get some glue on these. Get them clamped up real tight. Actually, I don't need to glue that one. I need to glue this one, this one, this one. Bought these clamps just recently, just for such glue ups. One of the boards was up off the bottom, wasn't flat down there. So I beat it into submission. But I'm trying to shoot for here. These are 4 and about 3/8 wide. But these 5 are only 3.5. I need another, well, 1.25 inches. I'm hoping I get it with those. If not, I'm gonna have to wait till I get more scraps. All right, I'm back in the shop. It's been 24 hours. They're all glued up. Let's get them out of the clamps. In case somebody doesn't notice, these are new. I just picked these up on Amazon. A 4-pack was like 30 bucks, 30 some bucks, I can't remember exactly. Costco, they were 17 bucks a piece. Excuse me. Home Depot, they were 17 bucks a piece. Ridiculous. So let's get these over into the planer and the joiner. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not when I was planing it. that joint came unglued. Apparently I didn't get enough of that finish off, and I'll have to glue that again. And I got that other part glued up right here. I'm now going to glue them onto a big block, and then later on I will be taking it to the table saw and cutting slices off of it. So let's get this thing glued up and clamped. All right, we're going to stand this one up, stand this one up, this one up, and this one up. I'm going to lay this one down, and this one down. Throw some more glue out. All right, stand this one up, stand this one up. Grab one clamp. Grab another clamp. And we're going to let this sit overnight on the floor over here. As soon as that all dries up, I'll take the clamps off, I'll run it through the joiner, get to one side and one flat area flat, then we run it through the planer to get the other two sides parallel. And that'll be tomorrow. All right, we got it all glued up. Now we get to take all the clamps off. All right, so I'm back in the shop. I'm going to attempt to cut my coffee coasters off of this block of wood that I glued up. I have set up a stop block on the table saw, 3/8 inches that way of the blade. That way when I cut off the sections, they will be 3/8 of an inch long, 3/8 of an inch thick. Let's see how many we can get cut off this. I have to cut it, flip it, cut it, using that stop block to hopefully keep me straight and in place. Let's get started on this. Wish me luck. Dust collection. Sometimes you just got to stop and clear the table saw. So I usually do these in sets of 4 when I give them out or whatever I do with them, or sell them. Usually sell them, hopefully sell them. So that's a set. I could cut the rest of that probably on the table saw. It would require me getting my hands a lot closer to that blade, which I don't like. It's smaller now. I should be able to control it better in the bandsaw. I will try cutting one. If I don't, I guess that block becomes something to turn. So I'm gonna go take a break and we'll come back. All right, I'm back. I got the bandsaw set up here. Let's see if we can cut some slices off this thing and make them somewhat straight. Let's see if this will work. Crooked still. That's as far as I can go. Not so good. I cut, looks like 6 of them out on the bandsaw. I don't know if you can see that, but they're all kinds of wonky. Wide in the bottom, top, skinny on top. It just won't cut straight because it doesn't have a wide enough blade for that, something that thick and that hard of wood. I might be able to plane these down and salvage a couple of them. Excuse me. Sand them down on the drum sander. Now these ones, on the other hand, these are pretty good. A little bit rough, but I got, looks like I got 8 sets of them. 8 complete sets, cut them on the table saw.
2,000 years later.
Hi, I'm back in the shop again, and one of the projects I'm working on is these coffee coasters. The problem is the edges are really rough because the Purple Heart likes to chip out. That's a bad example. That's a better example. You can see the chip there, right here. Only way I can think to fix this is, one, I can either get a oscillating belt sander tabletop thing and put it on there and sand it until I'm done with those, but they won't be all existing. But then they won't all be consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the table saw, and I'm going to cut them down just ever so slightly on the table saw on each corner, make them all square, get rid of all the problems, and then we will start sanding them smooth and getting them finished. Let me get that table saw set up for that, and we'll be right back. All right, almost set up with my table saw, ready to cut these coasters down. 1/4 inch each side. Get you down here so you can watch. Got it set up so that when I run them through one at a time, barely cuts it. And I've marked all the edges with white so I know which edges I've already cut. I can cut them through and then flip them and cut them through and then set them aside. Set up my dust collection box here so I can sand without having it in my face. I need to sand all of these on front and back side to make them smooth, and then I got to go and hand sand the edges.
Day 2, Day 3, Day 4.
Several days later, as you can tell by the shirt change, I have all 8 sets of these all sanded up to their final. Now I just have to put a coat of, I'm not sure if I'm going to do lacquer or if I'm going to do shellac or what I'm going to put on them yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to go lacquer because it's a lot easier. You can spray it on, wait 15 minutes, put a second coat on. Make bases for them. I haven't decided how I'm going to make the bases yet. We'll get to that later on. So anyway, enough sanding for now. I'm done with sanding these things. All right, so I have all my coasters, well, not all of them, half the coasters sitting out here because I only have room to do half of them at a time. Anyway, I have got them all sanded all the way up to 220. I raised the grain with water and then I hand sanded them down again, and they're all smooth. This is the back side. That's where there's a B written on the back of them. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to get you set up and I'm going to spray a coat of lacquer to seal the backs. I'll sit you up here on an angle because I have to get to 2 sides of this to do this. So I got using Def wood clear or clear wood finish gloss. So this is my favorite part now, not really, waiting for paint to dry. Lacquer doesn't take long to dry. As soon as these 16 dry, I will take those and put them inside, let them finish curing for about an hour, And I will bring the other ones out and hit them with a coat, just like I did these. And then as soon as that's done, it's time to put the cork on the back. So each one of these gets a cork pad that's got a self-sticky thing on it, self-sticky backing, and I put that on there, and then we bring them out one more time to paint the tops and the sides one more time. All right, I'm back in the shop. I have 2 piles of coasters and a pile of cork. Self-adhesive. I bought this a couple years ago, about 100 of them, so it was a big bulk batch of them. I haven't gone through them yet. I probably got over 50 left. So now what I need to do is I need to put the ones that I just painted, the side that I painted, I need to put cork on it. And the reason I do that is to get it sealed up, and I seal it up so that it sticks better on the lacquer. They've been drying for a couple hours. Let's get the cork on these things. The cork on them, the only one thing left to do now is to spray the tops and another coat on the sides. So it'll kind of seal it all up and keep it all from warping. I only use lacquer on them. It's probably not the best thing to use for these, for things that are going to have wet drinks on them. If it's a hot drink like coffee, it's probably not going to be too hard on them, but like wet drinks like a cold can of Coke that's sweating, or a glass of ice water or stuff like that, when it's leaking on them, it'll eventually destroy the lacquer and they will have to be sanded and resprayed. But I always tell everybody when I give them to them, or sell them I should say, when they get them, I says, all you have to do is take some 220 sandpaper and sand off the lacquer until it's down to either bare wood or past all the damage in the lacquer, and then just give it a couple more coats of spray lacquer and you're good to go. So we'll get that filmed next, and then we will button up this video. So I put a coat of paint, of lacquer on these, and then I let them dry for a week, and then I sanded them down lightly just to get rid of the high and low edges. And now we're going to set them up again to put the final coat on them. And then they will sit again for another week to dry. I like spraying them in the sunshine because they get warm and the paint flows better. Here we go. And now we let them wait and dry for about 15 minutes. And so now I just let them sit for about 15 minutes and dry, and kind of like get them off gassing. After 15 minutes, I will take them in the house and put them back in the garage, someplace safe so that they can dry. All right, I'm back in the shop. I got them all with their final coat of lacquer on them. They're all sitting here stacked up. The only thing I want to do now is make something for them to go into. I figured the focal point is the coaster and the wood, not the holder. So I decided I would just 3D print a holder. Needs to be a little bit taller because this one's not quite as tall as it needs to be. And if I was doing 6, that'd be even taller yet. So I'm going to make some of those up so that I can get these things bundled up and ready to go. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you know when other videos come out. So if there's something you'd like to see me do in my shop, bike shop here, 3D printing, electronics, if I know how to do it, leave me a comment. If there's something you don't like about my woodworking, bikes, 3D printing, or electronics, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching.